The code of conduct activity then describe what may be included in a code of conduct for a developer working on implementing a track and trace database system to deal with the pandemic. Very topical there, very topical, but what might you want to think about? Well, first of all, the level of privacy. We need to ensure that developers are able to work with very personal data and not discuss it or share it. Nobody wants a developer building this piece of software to notice one of their friends on the system and go telling everyone and breaching their privacy. Legal is also important as well. We need to be aware of the relevant legislation. In this case, GDPR is an important one because you'll be working with personal information of individual people. The next question, explain why it's important that codes of conduct for IT professionals include a requirement to not misrepresent their technical skills as better than they are. So why is it important that that's in there? Well, first of all, if you misrepresent yourself, you could fail to deliver the software at all. I just couldn't do it, sorry, and waste money and waste time and waste effort. Now, you might be able to finish it, but you might not be able to implement all the security or privacy features that are necessary. And that's especially important. If you misrepresent your ability to understand something and you don't build it properly as a result, you are responsible for the security loopholes. Finally, you may just produce subpar quality software and it might not be usable by the organization that commissioned it in the first place, in which case that's a bad thing. So why might it be important for a software developer to agree to seeking out and taking on board honest criticism of their work? What might the impact be of them being unwilling to do this? So it is difficult to take criticism of your work unless you're practicing it. It is difficult to say to somebody, tell me honestly what you think of this, and have them rip it apart. And you have to take that on board and make improvements as a result of it. As teachers, we're used to this very regularly. That's how we were taught to teach. But it's very difficult when it comes to individuals who are used to developing software, in many cases on their own. But it is important because it allows you to identify the faults or the problems with your own code that can be improved or fixed. It also allows the code to be better documented and more logically structured because it needs to be readable by others. So if the criticism is, I don't know what this does, it's too complicated, then it is useful criticism because simplifying it means that other people can work on it without having to talk to you, and you don't have to document it in as much rigorous detail. Now, people that are unwilling to do this will probably produce poorer quality code or code that you just can't be maintained. And this is a common thing in the industry. You pay somebody to do something, they build something really outstanding, but it's too clever by half and no one can understand it enough to go and fix it or change it. So it gets left by the wayside and you have to spend all those development costs again to build something that's more maintainable.